What do you mean? Speed of light is absolute. "1930s can go on the back burner for a second. What do you mean light is absolute? What about the photon?" There are no photons. What we have right here, sun is setting and caught the last of it. Reflection onto that mirror. Is that mirror? Right, bouncing off that mirror. I think that mirror just moved. It did. Luckily, it didn't fall over. I'm just going to pause you. Like that, just like that. There we go. All right. And that mirror's bouncing the sun directly onto there. Now, what do I mean light is absolute? What I mean is 299,792,458 meters per second is a load of rubbish. Roma, 1676, I do believe. He just so happened to be looking up at the sky and noticed that Io popped out from behind Jupiter just a little bit later than it usually does, as Earth was moving away from Jupiter and Io in its orbit around the Sun. Straight away. Flat, round. Orbits, round the Sun, planet. We'd go through the motions though, just to... He didn't have any accurate timekeeping devices. Nor did Galileo. These are just one of many reasons why not. The other reason, a good one, is why on earth would anybody in the 1600s decided to work out speed of light looking at a moon and the time it took it to come out from behind its planet? Telescopes had only just fallen off of the calendar. Folks, Roma, Olaus, myth. Don't believe me? Please, please, all it takes is for everybody to go out when Jupiter's in the night sky with your all singing, all dancing telescopes and try, just try to work out a delay as Earth is moving away from the pair in its orbit around the Sun. You won't be able to do it. He didn't do it. Nobody did it. Bradley. This was 1676. Galileo. Oh. Do we have to? Galileo asked an assistant. I think it was before this one. Look, it doesn't matter, they're buddies. In the 1600s, sometime, Galileo said to his assistant, listen, to one of his assistants, climb up that hilltop, we'll go up tonight when it's dark. We'll be 3 kilometers apart. I don't have any accurate timekeeping devices, but what I'm going to ask you to do, somehow from 3 kilometers away, is open your lantern door. And what I'm going to do is time how long it takes for the light to reach me after you 3 kilometers apart in the dark, no accurate timekeeping devices. Listen, folks. Please listen. If you start looking at these things and break them down bit by bit using logic and common sense, the whole thing, all right, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Even if Galilei was real, it's kind of an insult to his intelligence to suggest that he would have had to actually go through those motions. Nobody, even today, with no accurate timekeeping devices, would deem it necessary to ask somebody, look, I'm not going there, sorry, Bradley, 728, I do believe, and stellar aberration. Listen. Again, what is it? He was looking for parallax and found stellar, or he was looking for stellar and found parallax. Both of them rubbish. Right. It is a distance that is worked out. You pick a star, okay? I like that one up there. You kind of remember there's no electronics, nothing, right? You just look at a star, maybe make a drawing at night, because that's when the stars are out. 1728. You see a star, and then what happens? You work out where it is, and then in 6 months' time, when planet Earth, planet orbiting the sun, again suggesting that 6 months later you're on the opposite side of the sun, you then gaze up and go, right, where's that star? There it is, and then you work out the difference in the angle from where you are now to where you were 6 months ago. And that angle, somehow you divide it by paired double peach squared, and it will tell you the distance. Easy peasy. Myth. Fitzo. One of my favourites. It is it fits up or E-A-U? Anyway. 1849. 30 years before electricity was properly established in Europe, Fitzo managed to send a light beam just over 5 miles in one direction, 8 Ks. It bounced off of the mirror and came back. When he launched it, I don't know if that would have been annoying you guys or you were enjoying it. You never know. Everybody likes different things, right? So, he had a wheel. Some say 128 teeth, others 200, whatever, didn't happen. So he put all these teeth on a wheel. I know, I could have been an artist probably. Maybe after we've sorted the planet out, all the lies and the charlatans. So I've got a wheel, right? It's got a handle cranked up. I don't know how he spun it hundreds of times per second. They were clever back then, weren't they? They just don't do science like they used to, right? That's why everybody, relies on the shoulders of giants for their current absurdities that defy logic and common sense. So, we're looking, some say he was in a tower, but let's pretend, using empathy in that, we're going to put ourselves in the moment. We're looking, this wheel is propped up on something, and we're looking out of a window. And out of this window, 8 kilometres away, it's a hollow wheel, there's another tower. And in that tower, not 5 miles, 8 kilometres away, there's a mirror. Right? Now, he bounced a beam of light through a tooth of a spinning wheel. The light went 8 Ks, bounced off of the mirror, came back. Would you believe? It came back and he saw it through the same tooth, between the same 2 teeth. And then he spun it a little bit faster, and lo and behold, all of a sudden, because of the speed, it blanked the returning light out that's travelled 16 kilometres by now. 8 and 8. 5 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles. And you notice that. And then he went even a little bit faster. And it came back into view. And because he knew how fast the wheel was turning, how many revs per second, and he knew how far away the mirror was, and he knew how many teeth there were, he was able to work out the speed of light to within, I don't know, 10% is usually a popular number. I don't think it would have been 299,792 kilometers per second of that one, but it would have been close because they got closer as time went on. It's a perfect story. And that's how he did it. That's how he did it. In 1849, 30 years before electricity was properly established. Now, you know what? Let me pause you for a second. All right, welcome back. So, we're not going to do the whole 16 kilometers thing because they're a little bit excessive, even though I have some lasers. And way down there is a mirror. All right. About 30 meters there, because I had Pluto down there, those of you who follow my shenanigans, in a real proper scaled out solar system. I'm going to have to lift you just a little bit. Remember, he sent a light beam, don't know what kind of light it was in 1849, 30 years before electricity was properly established, but it was obviously quite a good light because it travelled 16 kilometres, bounced off of a mirror and came back to the same teeth. Look out for a shot. So, and then, because he knew how many 100 revs per second the wheel was spinning, and he knew the angle, and he knew the temperature, he was then able to work out the speed of light. Folks, these things are not believable. None of them are. None of them are believable. I have been fighting this stuff because I saw it for what it was. 4, 5, 6 years ago. History, right? Never heard of the flat earth. This stuff used to drive me nuts because I can see how wrong it is. The lies are obvious, right? I thought all of this was told to give them justification for being able to do the Apollo thing in 1969. But a couple of years ago, I hear about not the tree of life, about a possible flat earth. I initially dismissed it, as I dismissed man-made climate change and stuff, and the Egyptians building the pyramids. Because that didn't happen either. It's logistically impossible. And then this flat earth thing started to get more traction. I don't know where it was hidden all of my life. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Started to hear it. Flat earth? What are they talking about? And then more and more people. It's almost like people knew but weren't saying anything, and then it just started up. And I thought, here we go, distraction. But then you start to think about it. And what I realized is all of the science that I had been screaming at against, all of it indirectly was propping up this little dancer. The science, all of it, the moon landings, all of it is suggesting we are on a spinning planet. The thing that really amazed me was how had it been kept from me for so long? I'd never heard of it, not once. It's only 2-3 years ago. People, most of you know, you follow me, those of you who you've known the story. It was pyramids, speed of light. And I realized that it was just a bounce, flat or round. Pyramids have been submerged. Cannot happen on a globe. It's not enough water. Doesn't make sense. And then the speed of light. It's so obvious that there is no light delay. There is no light delay. Light is absolute. There are no... Oh, look, we're still getting a... Oh, look at it. I love it. I love it. It was waiting. It's like, come on. Look at that. That, ladies and gentlemen, whether it be 150 million or just up the road there, when there is a solar eclipse, it is directly behind the moon. There is no delay. The thing that is getting blocked by the moon is the light source itself. It is not photons that left the light source 8 minutes and 20 seconds earlier. It's impossible because the sun is still directly behind the moon. There is no light delay. It's one of those believe what's in front of your eyes rather than believing in horseradish. It's not just this one thing, it's everything leading up to this. It's all history that has been rewritten. Slam dunk. There are too many things that do not make sense. It has never ever been about just one thing. Y'all presume too much. It is not anybody's fault. It's what has been taught for years. I'm going to say something, but I don't think I should. So, I'll just carry on with this pointless statement, really. Guys, I have to do this because I want to make sure it actually seems like people are listening. And they should be. Because men, they have lied about everything. Where's your evidence? My evidence is the sun and the moon, whether they be local or far, far away. It's irrelevant. During the solar eclipse, the sun is directly behind the moon. That is what is being blocked. The light source itself. Sun? Oh, no, let's not. Could do though. I'll pause you again to save time. I'm going to put the actual spinning earth that I made. Be right back. Go and have a Kit Kat. I sometimes wake up in the middle of the night, drenched in a cold sweat, and I'm having a nightmare or a dream that I'm drawing another solar eclipse on the board to explain it yet again. Folks, seriously, right? There's one coming up. It doesn't matter how far away the sun is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how far away any light source is from your eyesight. If you are seeing a light source anywhere in the night sky, stars, you are seeing it because it is powerful enough to be detected by your eyesight. The sweet spot, I'm not even going to go into the 2.08 degrees axis spin. Folks, when you're on the sweet spot of Earth and you're looking up at the moon, and the moon is directly in front of the sun is directly behind the moon, in that moment, there is only one thing happening. The moon is blocking the light source. It's not blocking photons. It's illogical. It's illogical. It's the light source itself. If it were photons, it means that they have been traveling for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. You would not see the light source that radiated those photons 8 minutes and 20 seconds earlier. It cannot be there. It's basic common sense. 1 + 1 = 2. Somehow, the photon, 8 minutes and 20 seconds, the Mickey Mouse photon No, folks. No. Liars and charlatans, not shoulders of any giants. Now, they have lied to you about your eyesight. They have lied to you about the light year. Here's the thing. I'm just going to repeat this. A light source, when it switches on, its light will travel at absolute speed to as far as it is going to reach. Bang! It doesn't matter how far away somebody is from this flashlight or a star or any other light source. If you can see it, you will be seeing it at the very same time as somebody who is stood here. I can see it. The person that is the furthest distance possible away from this and can still see the light will see it switch off at the same time as my right eye did. It doesn't matter how far away a light source is. The bigger and more powerful it is, the further it will radiate its light at absolute speed. There has never been a time when a light turned on and somebody who's waiting for that light is that far away from it that they had to wait a minute, 2 minutes, 8 minutes and 20 seconds. It's illogical. Light. Boom. A small one like this, 10, 12 Ks, you get somebody at 13, 14, 15, are they going to see it? No. If they wait there, will they see it? No. Why not? If light travels forever. And then there's inverse square law that rubbish, fake science. There is no evidence anywhere to be found that light is finite, that Mickey Mouse is along at 299,792,458 meters per second. There is no such thing as a light year. It's illogical. You either see a light source or you do not. That is light. Our eyesight complements light. They work together. Our eyesight, you don't wait. This is one of the lies that really grip me. It's absolute. There is no furthest distance that our eyesight can see something. If there is a light powerful enough to be seen in the night sky, you're seeing it right there in real time as it is. If it turned off, it disappears right in front of your eyes. If you're too far away from that light source, you will never see it. You'll never know it's even there. No, they do not look back into the past with telescopes. With a telescope, you'll see stars that you cannot see with the naked eye. It's a telescope. It doesn't mean you're looking into the past. You're still seeing everything in real time. But all the expansion and that Big Bang and that bollocks. Folks, this is the thing. Look, they've made a talking point out of nothing. Einstein. A clock tower. And he was on a train. And as he was moving away from the clock tower, he saw the clock and said to himself, if we were moving at the speed of light, it would stop. And then there's explanations of somebody traveling on a train and somebody on a platform And if the platform was moving at the speed of light and a train was moving at the speed of light and another train went by, and this absolute garbage that people think is relevant is not relevant. It's all a load of rubbish. It means nothing. When ever is a train going to be travelling at the speed of light? When is somebody going to be on a platform and see a train go by travelling at the speed of light? Who cares? It has been made up. It's a distraction from the truth. And once again, it indirectly suggests speed of light, planets, stars. Folks, I assure you, it's not just one reason. I've been battling this stuff for years because I knew I had to, but I didn't realise about the flat earth. And now, I'm learning as I go along. I'm 99.1%. It's flat. I'm going to leave a little bit in the bank just in case. Aeroplanes. Upside down, the water. How's it spinning at 1,000 miles per hour as we're travelling 67,000 miles per hour around the sun? Not a splishy splashy of water anywhere coming off. Moon's gravity. Look, there is no gravitational pull. None. Because the tides don't have anything in common. There's no connection between the tides and what the moon is doing. Seriously, there isn't. And the other bodies of water not shifting, and all the high tides being somewhere else. And my observation, which I think is really neat, water goes that way and comes and goes back and comes. If there was a bulge, it would be continuous, wouldn't stop for an hour tea break, half an hour tea break, and then start to slowly go back down as the moon is still travelling that way. It's the amount of illogical that has passed as logical that is the worry. It is illogical. People are believing illogical stuff because they haven't had time to think about these things. You've been told what to think. I would get myself into trouble with science. I really don't care. There's a load of people doing this stuff. It's the facts, folks. They're lying about everything. Is it round or is it flat? The firmament, for somebody who is not religious, and to find this stuff out later in life, I still haven't seen the firmament. But I know that there's no gravitational pull from the moon. I know light is absolute. I know the Apollo stuff is just a children's fairy tale. Thrust in a vacuum, show me. But show me. Don't show me pics from the Artemis 2 crew, because I don't believe a word of it. It's, how do so many people end up believing this stuff? When they catch us early, and they take stuff out and put stuff in. Human nature, tampered. They know that when you teach children early, stuff sticks. There'll be people right now who may have never seen me before going, what the? He's certifiable. No, I'm not certifiable. I see things as they are. Common sense, logic, rational thought, being objective. Does it matter to me whether it's flat or round? It kind of does because of the lies. Folks, Apollo or flat can only have one. There's no evidence, there's no reflectors, there's no moon rocks. I've got them all here. Light is absolute, there is no delay. You don't wait for photons. Things have colour. The grass is green. I don't have to wait for any photons because my eyesight travels at the same speed as light. If there is a star so far away, it's further, whether it's a dome or not, further than every single star up there. Cannot see it during the night, but it's brighter than all of them. I'm looking in its direction. It's the furthest star ever, but it's the brightest, which is why we're going to see it when it turns on. If it turned on, boom, I would see it like I would see a flashlight over there. There is no waiting. My eyesight see things at a distance. This is another one. What on earth would possess people to think that if the sun was off, right? These are the things that I don't understand. Sun's off, let's just say for fun. It is 150 million kilometers away. It does take 8 minutes and 20 seconds for photons to arrive on the Photon Express. I'm looking at the sun's direction, it's off. It turns on. I'm looking in its direction, but I don't see anything for 8 minutes and 20 seconds because I have to wait for photons to arrive. It's the rubbish. It turns on. I see it because I see things at a distance. You don't wait for photons to hit you. You see the light source. It's the light source that is being blocked during the solar eclipse, folks. There is no light here. You either see a light from the onset or you don't see it at all. The only way that you would end up seeing a light source that is out of range is if it got bigger and more powerful, it moved closer to you, or you moved closer to it. If it's out of range, you don't see it. You don't hang around for 2 weeks and then go, oh, there it is, it finally arrived. And the actual light source itself has already buggered off, like they tell us about the stars up there. Proxima Centauri, 2.4 light years. What a load of rubbish. If you can see a star, you're seeing it exactly where it is. It means it is powerful enough to be detected by your eyesight. All those things haven't been radiating light for years and years and years. And, oh, it just arrived. They could be out by now. It defies logic and common sense once you understand that light is absolute. And I slam dunk it again. It is absolute. There is no delay. But hundreds of people, no, they haven't ever using a mirror to folks. It's a fucking fairy tale. Calm down. Calma. Un poquito de calma. Aquí. Right, where are we at here? 33. No, I wanted to keep it at 30. It would have been good if somebody could have said 4 minutes ago, dude, we are, and I could have. But now, do I cash in on the next 10 more minutes? What can we talk about for 10 minutes? Does anybody want a guinea pig? Folks, I can understand how difficult it must be to see a conspiracy theorist up here talking about flat earth and absolute light and stuff. Roma being a lie. Einstein just being a figurehead that was pushed around. All right, smile, mate. Hold this light bulb and just say anything. Here we go. It didn't happen. Apollo didn't happen. They fooled the control room. It does now seem that everything, the whole charade, is actually to disguise the flat earth. All of the science, the illogical science I have been fighting, now I see it. It all indirectly suggests we're on a planet. That's why people have so much difficulty in accepting this stuff as lies, but it is. And all it takes is objective thinking. How can that not be directly behind that during solar eclipse? How can it be 8 minutes and 20 seconds or 2.08 degrees to the left or to the right? These things are so stupid. Is it a local moon and a local sun? Listen, I don't know. I know that it's absolute light and there is no delay. I mean, it is possible, isn't it? The moon's a little bit strange. It is. That time, was it the lunar eclipse? I've seen things where I've gone, what the? Sometimes it's not facing where the sun would be. Look, it is not logical to see things that are illogical, but still try to make them logical. That's where common sense starts to zip out the back door. Because when people start to find logic in the illogical, common sense goes, well, I am not needed here anymore. Because they're not using me, they're believing 1 + 1 = 3. Science does not care about your common sense. There are only 2 kinds of people who will say that kind of a thing. A liar and somebody with no common sense in the first place. Nobody else would. Because common sense, burn, baby, that's common sense. It's something that you accumulate as you go along. Lessons you learn. And everybody should kind of be all those people that go, yeah, but common sense is, everybody's got different, up to a certain degree. But when a light source is behind a big thing, it's about common sense. Because there are no photons, there's no delay, it's obvious, folks. Look, I hope this is a wrap, because I just do. Well, because the sun, we only had that last minute. Days are getting real busy lately. It must be that time flying along. No, it's ticking by as it always does. How on earth can a second get shorter? A second is a second. If it gets shorter, it's not a second anymore, is it? It's like 3/4 of a second. The day was split into 24 hours. The sun, the only way to prove that time is going as it always has, is to use a tick, tick, one of those clocks with a dial on it, right? Not the digital ones. And you can time sunrise and sunset. The postman, the person that, the fisherman, all of these people, ask them, people who don't spend their days glued to social media, believing all the hype. Oh, aliens. Oh no, they're going to tell us about the aliens now. I still am not convinced of any aliens. I think it's just a load of rubbish. But y'all, I think I single-handedly put a stop to the abduction thing. I also think I single-handedly, the ancient aliens, I used to get so annoyed. So many people believed it to be true. I used to smash everything I saw. It all went away. Maybe it's just my feed. Ancient aliens, abductions. Nobody has been abducted. Power of suggestion. They make you think. They make you believe. They make you think time's going faster. Talk you into man-made climate change. The power of suggestion. All of it suggests extraterrestrials from outer space, planet, man-made climate change, carbon dioxide covering the planet, the stratosphere, the ozone layer, a planet. Everything that we're taught, think about it, indirectly suggests that we're on a spinning planet. It all falls apart with NASA's photographs, isn't it? It's all believable until then. The lies are so obvious. I just hope people are waking up. I really do. It's science. They know where I am. I don't give a fuck. their planet. It's everybody's planet. Earth. Whether it's flat or it's round. One thing, folks, you have to understand, right? Listen. Nobody has more of a right to be here than anybody else. We are all equals, right? I might be a little bit special. I should get an extra portion of custard. So pudding time. Look. Division. A trust of the innocent, the liars. One of their most favourite tools. And it's happening every day. Division. Distractions. All of it. To keep people distracted. Jump from moon landings to war. It's just, when you can see these things, you go in the chat room, now time's going faster. Don't be talking about that. You should be focusing on the things that matter. That is the future of the children. Protect the children. That's it. You don't have to even teach them too much stuff. They will work it out. Keep them objective. Unpolluted minds. It's a wrap, innit? I think that's coming up to 45. Look, folks. $41. Look, that'll do it. God, that means we have to bow. Kings and queens. Yes, your highness. Royal blood. Huh? Blood is blood. Royal blood. So the axes in this, the chopping of the heads. I'm king. Oh, now it's royal blood. I'll have that land. I'm getting myself into trouble with my own boss. I joined the army in 1984. Seemed like the right thing to do at the time. Travel, experiences, couple of war zones. Poof, 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 poof. Ping. Would I have gone if I had known then what I know now? It would have been a shame not to because of the experiences. But I mostly felt like an observer anyway, so it was a rush. It's to travel all over the place. Folks, things aren't what they seem. Things aren't what they seem. There is a rogue organisation here on Earth. They want control. They're lying. They're creating chaos, causing division, distracting people. People, you need to start thinking for yourself. Right? I'm not here to make anybody believe me. I believe you don't. What's that? Just start thinking. You've got massive piggyback. Find the photon behind the moon during solar eclipse. Tell yourself. There are no photons. But the science. It's all everything I'm taught, everything I've been taught. It's an elaborate lie. The moon's a charade. Yes, it is, NASA. Sweep the runways before you lock up. Should make it a big children's playground. And you owe folks some money and an explanation. Seriously, folks. Power, greed, control. The Jetsons and the Flintstones. Well, the Flintstones are fucking back. All right, peeps. Laters.